Hey, what's up, Lorain County football fans? Welcome back to another episode of The Blitz, brought to you by our friends at First Federal Savings of Lorain. I'm your host, Rocco Nushi, with the one and only Kristen Bauer behind the camera, as always. And let's get right into things and recap what was a crazy week one here in Lorain County. First, we'll start with the losers of the week, as some new regimes across the area didn't quite get off to the best start. First, let's start right here in the city of Elyria, where the Pioneers got off to a quick 7-0 start over Cincinnati Princeton. Coach Brian Fox drawing up an onside kick to kick off the game, and they go right down the field and score, and again up 7-0, but it was all Princeton after that as the Vikings roll over Elyria, 41-7 the final there. So a tough start for Coach Brian Fox and crew. And over at EC, the Panthers, they struggled as well under first-year head coach Chase Ferris. They were tied with Liberty Benton at 14 apiece after one quarter of play, but just really couldn't get it going after that as Liberty Benton shut them out the rest of the way. So both Elyria and EC, they fall in week one. Over in Grafton for the Midview Middies, they were down 14-0 to Westlake. They came storming back, but ultimately 5 turnovers end up doing Coach Jack Armstrong's team in his first year. So he'll lose his opener as a Midview Midi head coach. They fall to Westlake. And then Oberlin, they showed good fight against Plymouth, but ultimately first-year head coach Mark Campo and friends couldn't quite get it done. So again, the new regimes across the area off to a rough start here in week one, but hoping for better luck here in week two. As for the winners of week one, we got to start in Amherst, folks. A huge shout out to the Comets. They snapped a 21-game losing streak. You heard that right. 21 games in a row the Comets had lost, but Coach Tom Thome, in his first year at the helm, he said enough of that. As they get a gigantic win, 41-21 the final over Copley. Quarterback Cole Norris, he had a huge game, 3 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing. So Amherst off to a great start here in 2023. Let's jump over to the SBC, I should say, where another losing streak, not quite as long, this one just 19 games for the Vermilion Sailors, but second-year head coach Bill DeFucci, he said forget that. They get a huge 21-14 win over Margaretta. Quarterback Aaron Mathis had himself a really nice game, so huge congratulations to Coach DeFucci, his first win as a Vermilion Sailor head football coach. We'll jump around some other area teams here. Lorraine, they throttled Brush 35-7. How about 4 rushing touchdowns for running back John Salomon? He'll definitely be a name to keep an eye on throughout the course of the season. Just a fantastic running back over there at Lorraine as the Titans, they're sick of using COVID as an excuse for the losing. They're ready to turn things around this year, and they are off to a great start with that win over Brush. Brookside, they skunk Brooklyn 35-0, the final score there. Huge game for Tyler Kitzberger. He had 2 rushing touchdowns for the Cards, so congratulations to Coach Scott O'Donnell, his first win of 2023. Elsewhere in the Lorain County League, Keystone, they blank Northwestern 41-0. Zach Shackelford, folks, he was doing it on offense, he was doing it on defense, and he was doing it on special teams. 3 rushing touchdowns, a pick 6 defensively, and a punt return touchdown. So you talk about factoring in all 3 phases of the game. Zach Shackelford did that and then some, as again Keystone rolls 41-0 over Northwestern. Columbia, they throttle Independence 41-6, the final score there. Marco Sarigliano, my Italian comrade, nice game for him. 3 touchdowns for Marco, and a really nice game from quarterback Ethan Meyer. I had a chance to talk to Coach Ward earlier this week about that when he had very high praise for his quarterback, so a nice win for the Raiders in week one. Clearview, they looked impressive as well at home over Toledo Scott, 36-8, the final score there. 2 picks and a receiving touchdown for senior Aiden Cruz, so Coach Collier and friends have it going early here in 2023. In the SWC, North Ridgeville, they were impressive in their opener. They were down actually 7-0 to North Olmsted after one possession, but 41 unanswered points for the Rangers. They knock off North Olmsted 41-7. Huge game for Charlie Steinmetz. So Coach Brian Morgan and crew, they got it rolling as well to start the season. And finally, Avon and Avon Lake, they both pick up wins. Avon rolled past Brunswick, no contest there. Avon Lake, they were given a good game by Strongsville, but ultimately the Shoremen prevail. So those 2 top dogs in the SWC, if you will, getting wins here in week one. So that was pretty much week one in the books. Again, a lot of success in our area. A couple of the new regimes with the first-year head coaches off to a tough start, but hoping again for better fortune here in week two. So let's talk about what's coming up here in week two. Well, I'll tell you what, Friday night, 3 games on WEOL. It'll be Avon at Canton McKinley. That should be a lot of fun from Hall of Fame Stadium down there in Canton. Certainly looking forward to that one. On stream 2, I'll actually have the play-by-play call along with Z Zoltai. We'll be at Firelands as the Falcons welcome in Vermilion for a nice little local rivalry game there. And finally, our Medina County matchup on stream 3. It'll be Olmsted Falls welcoming in Brunswick. Again, that's on stream 3. So on the radio and stream 1 this Friday, Avon at Canton McKinley. On stream 2, it's Vermilion at Firelands. Then Brunswick at Olmsted Falls is on stream 3. And also, folks, keep an eye out for this big rivalry game, Elyria at Lorain here in week 2. That should be a lot of fun, so make sure you keep an eye out for that as well. And before we get out of here, I do want to remind you that this Saturday we'll have the Nick Abraham Saturday Sports Wrap-Up Show. We're on location again. We will be live from the Lorain County Fair. So if you're not familiar where the WEOL and Chronicle Telegram tent is at, we're right next to Pavilion Building number 16 there, right on the Midway. So stop on by Saturday morning, again, 9 to 11. Myself and Rob Polinsky will have the Nick Abraham Saturday Sports Wrap-Up Show. So that'll do it for this second episode of The Blitz, brought to you by our friends at First Federal Savings of Lorain. For Kristen Bauer behind the camera, I'm Rocco Nucci saying thank you for watching. Good luck to our teams here in week 2. We'll see you guys next week.